Good morning, and welcome to today's live. In today's live, I'm going to be talking to you about trusting the life flow of who you are so that you can begin to live in the space of trusting the truth of who you are. So, if you're just joining us, give me a thumbs up, type in hi and tell me where you are joining us from. I'm really honored and pleased that you are joining us today. So let's begin. Let's get out my handy piece of paper. And what we're going to do today is we are going to be looking at, like I said, we're going to be looking at this idea that every single one of us has this life flow within us. Now, what do I mean by life flow? If you break down the word flow, what springs to mind? Type in the comment section below what springs to mind when you hear the word flow. Okay? It might be, for me, a river. So today's analogy is going to be looking at this idea of a river. Here we are as people. Give me a thumbs up if you believe that who we are is that we are human beings. Not only that we're human beings, but we are spiritual beings having a human experience. If you believe we are a spiritual being having a human experience, give me a thumbs up, and even give me a little heart, give me some love if you believe that we are a spiritual being having a human experience. So what does that mean to me? Well, what that means to me is the following. Spirit is sort of like, if you think of the idea of spirit, what I believe is that above us or in another energy field, we have this divine connection to spirit, or what I like to call source. It's the source of all energy. It's the source of the highest vibrational energy, which is love. Okay? So if we have a look at this idea that we're all connected to this divine source, this divine beginning. If you think of the source of a river, the source of a river, the source of a lot of things is often the ocean. And the ocean is this unlimited entity, this unlimited space where there is just an unlimited amount of water. And that's the same thing that I believe source is. That there is this unlimited, abundant flow of everything that we could ever need or want or desire for ourselves in our life. Now, I also believe that because we are a spiritual being having a human experience, we are divinely connected to this source. And that divine connection comes in the form of a life flow. Now, if you are connected in this life to this flow, then you are divinely connected to the truth of who you are and what that is that you need to experience in this lifetime. So let's look at this idea of flow being a river. Now, every single one of us, because we are a spiritual being, those of you who've been watching my other videos, you know that we are spirit. Now imagine that this spirit is divinely connected to this flow, to this river. Let's imagine there's a river that flows from the source down through us and then up back into the source. Now, this would be great if we were constantly in our life flow. This is what our river would look like. You with me? Give me a thumbs up if you are with me. If you are in that space of divine connection with your truth, which is source, who you are is actually that vibrational source, just in a different form. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. But that's not what this human experience is all about. Who of you agree that who we are is in this human form is also the thoughts, okay, that we have? We've spoken about this in a few of my videos. Now, these thoughts often come from a place where we don't feel good enough. So there is this those of you who believe in A Course in Miracles, it talks about this separation. When we separate ourselves from this flow, Now, what separates us? Many things, but it's usually the source belief that we're not good enough. And that creates an awful feeling inside of us. No one wants to feel not good enough. So what we do is we create these defensive mechanisms, remember? These boxes that of expectations, these boxes that we think we should be in order to be accepted. This is the box. But now alongside of this box is a fear. Now, fear, what fear does is it causes a paralysis. It stops us from flowing. I'm just looking at my notes here. It makes us question who we are, because if we're not, what fear does, I'll take a step back. What does fear do? For me, fear is like a rock, a boulder. Hi, thanks for watching. Those of you who've just joined us, hi, tell me where you're watching me from. So imagine that a fear comes, and what happens is, this is like a brick, okay? Let's say a brick, a rock, a stone, whatever. And what happens is that this rock, brick, gets thrown into the river. And let's imagine that it gets thrown in here. What's going to happen to the flow of the river? The river is going to flow that way, isn't it? It's going to cause like a detour. And now this river needs to find its way back, doesn't it? So this is what happens in life. In life, our fears, our belief systems, our expectations come and they destroy the flow. Well, I don't like that word. Maybe they block or they detour the flow. And what we end up doing is we end up going like this, don't we? We flow in maybe, connected, and then out again, and then eventually back in again. And we're constantly going back and forth in amongst the flow, which is the connection to source. And I said that today we were going to uncover this idea of life flow, but also the idea of trusting that we are divinely connected to this life flow. If you notice that no matter how many bricks, how many stones, how many sources of fear you throw into this river, a river will always return to its source, won't it? The river, no matter how many detours, how many little, I don't know the terms, so I'm going to stop there. But it always returns, it always comes back. And what I'm trying to encourage you to think of today is that if you begin to trust, you see, what is the opposite of fear? The opposite of fear is trust, because fear causes doubt. Now, when you are going about your day and you begin to have a thought of fear, worry, concern, what you're actually saying is that I don't trust that I am divinely connected to the source of all abundance. So today I'd like to encourage you to trust that you are divinely connected to the source of abundance, that no matter what happens, no matter how many thoughts of worry, concern, fear, society, your parents, you yourself throw into the river, you are always going to flow back to source, because that is who you are. You cannot help it. That is who we are as spiritual beings. So today I'd like to extend an invitation to you. I'd like to extend an invitation which is to choose freedom every single day. And how are you going to choose freedom? Today is by saying to yourself, you're going to ask yourself, how can I trust that I am divinely connected to the life flow of who I am? How can I trust more that I am divinely connected to the source of abundance? Your choice is simple, guys. Trust or remain in the fear and allow the fear to control the direction of the river. Or trust that it flows. When there's resistance in your life and then you feel resistance in your body, then you're in that space of blocking, and the river is now going down upstream instead of downstream. All those different analogies. So my invitation to you is to choose freedom by clicking on the link below, so that you and I can continue to walk together in the flow of your life force, and I can continue to support you in divinely connecting to the truth of who you are. I wish you a wonderful day of connecting and trusting who you are. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Those of you watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe to my channel. It's been my absolute honor. Please comment below if you would like my personal support in any of these concepts I spoke about in today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!